Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Year of the Batman. Today's Batman Beyond episode is Meltdown. So Mr. Freeze is kind of the bad guy ish in this episode, which I will say it feels a little early to include older Batman villains already, but it goes really well with the current Batman's villain, so I'm okay with that. Like I said, if it was just Mister Freeze and that was it, that would feel way too soon. But it does incorporate to like the overarching plot, so that's fine. So anyway, Batman he's out and about and he finds some guys dumping some radioactive waste, and I would assume it's Mister Powers's waste um, that he I don't know. I don't know if he leaks anything or if it's just like his company in general. If he does that, but anyway, he's responsible for it. You know, the guy, um, Wayne Powers Enterprises, that guy, that the big head honcho. So, I was about to say Robin, Batman. He comes in, kicks everybody's asses, and he's about to interrogate some guy when he notices his cell phone, and he takes it and he calls Mister Powers while he's in the meeting in the middle of a very important business meeting, and he's like, "Hey, just letting you know, your boat ride got canceled tonight. Fuck you, by the way." And that really stresses Powers out, and because he's has that like the fake human skin casing to cover his radiation, he immediately stresses out, and his eyes start to crack, and it starts showing his radiation. So he cancels the meeting immediately, and he's talking to his secretary. He's like, "All right, guys, this is some bullshit. All right, these cases they're getting worse and worse." And the scientists around him are like, "Mr. Powers, it's not the cases. The cases are doing their job. It's just your radiation. It's so powerful. Like, it's increased. It's I was gonna say validity, and it's not acidity. It's effectiveness, I guess. So he's becoming more and more powerful. So one scientist, and she was like, "Hey, I have an idea. What if we give you a new body?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's great. Does it work?" She's like, "We could test it." And he's like, "All right, let's do that first. Let's get on the testing, and then we can see if it works on me." So she has an idea to volunteer Mr. Victor Freeze, who, if you remember at this point, he's literally just a head. Like, the rest of his body has completely decomposed, and now he's a head. So she approaches Victor, offering him this chance at a new body, and he takes it. And she's like, "Well, you might die." He's like, I don't care. If I live or die, I just do not care. Which, I mean, he at this point, he's been a head, like just a sole head for like, it's got to be 30, 40 years now, honestly. Because Barbara, she was fresh out of college, and she's definitely showing her age. Like she's definitely in her 50s or 60s. So Mr. Freeze, being ahead that that long, that's got to do stuff to you. So he's like, if I'm in a body, great. If I'm dead, probably greater. So they do the operation. Turns out to be a complete success. Um, and he's spending time with this like one secretary lady, uh, scientist. I don't really know what the hell her role was. She seemed to be like interested in Victor, like romantically, but that doesn't really pan out. So they go to the graveyard together because Bruce instructed Batman to spy on them because he doesn't trust Victor at all. And he goes to a graveyard and sees Victor Freeze's grave where his former head was buried. And it was kind of like a symbolism because he's in a new body, meaning he's a new person. At that time, an assassin tries to take Victor out, but Batman saves him. And it turns out it was some guy years ago that Mr. Freeze, who it was Mr. Freeze who like killed his family. So Mr. Freeze is like, "Hey, don't press charges, Batman. Don't capture him. Let's just let him go. This is a sign for me that I have to leave or I have to do penance for my sins of a former life." And it's really sad because you can definitely tell Mr. Freeze is being super sincere, and he's like very remorseful of the wrongdoings that he's done. So he gets on a talk show and he's like, yeah, years ago, when I was a legitimate scientist, I had a trust fund, and after all these years, it's built up quite the I've built up quite the wealth. So I'm going to use that wealth to create a Nora Freeze Foundation, which is kind of sweet. He names it after his ex-wife. Still hate how they didn't get together, but it's whatever. So he does that, and he almost immediately notices he starts to have like hot flashes, and he's getting really really warm, and he goes back to Wayne Powers Industries to be like, hey, I'm getting fucked up here. So Mr. Powers, he's interested. He's like, what the hell's going on with him? And she's like, well, I'm sorry, I don't know, and if we don't know about him, we can't give you your new body. And he's like, was there anything we could do? And she's like, well, we could harvest his organs and study that. And he's like, all right, get on that. So she locks him in a room, and it's one of these stupid things where her plan was to kill him, because she locks him in a room, closes like a glass door on him, and like immediately turns up the heat. And I'm just like, you could have just played it off like you were gonna do surgery on him and just sedate him and then just knife throat. Easy as that. But she tries that plan, turns up the heat, and when Mr. Freeze is just about to pass out, he takes a whole ass table and smashes the fucking door open, and he escapes into the cold snow, because it was currently snowing at that time. Gotham City was in fact a blizzard. So the next day, the Gotham's going through a bit of a heat wave. It's 70 degrees. All the cryo chambers, any refrigeration unit, any place cold in Gotham has been checked, and Mr. Freeze has not been found. So Mr. Powers is like, yeah, I don't think he's dead. And then pretty much on cue, he comes in this like new advanced suit, and it does annoy me because he's like, yes, I've kept this in cold storage for years. I'm like, Mr. Freeze, that is the most badass suit you've had yet, and you're telling me you're just now whipping it out? Because this thing has ice gun cannons on it. He doesn't even need a gun anymore. Like, now it's built into his suit. I'm just like, dude, that's badass. Lead with that. Like, I mean, unless he built it relatively recent, but I don't know. It just kind of like, he kind of pulled that one out of his ass, to be honest. So he's having a big fight. He freezes the assistant that betrayed him. He freezes Mr. Powers, which off camera, Mr. Power, well, not off camera, we see it on camera, but when the fight takes somewhere else, he like reveals his like true radiation form. So Batman comes in trying to stop him, and Mr. Freeze is about to freeze Batman. But then Blight comes in and he's like, listen here, you motherfucker, I'm going to kill you. So he's beating the shit out of Mr. Freeze, doing a damn good job of it. And then Batman, he steps in, and then he's given Blight a little bit of a fight, but Blight, well, that's what he calls himself now, Blight, which it's pretty fitting for that villain, because he brings nothing but blight. So those two are fighting. Batman's about to get a big blast of radiation from Blight, and then Mr. Freeze comes out of nowhere and shoots a huge ass ice beam at him that literally like knocks him like maybe a mile out into a lake. So the whole building around him's coming down, and Batman's like, Freeze, come on, I gotta get you out of here. And he's like, I'm just so tired. Please just let me die. So Mr. Freeze, he like freezes a wall around himself and has the whole building come down on him. And that's pretty much the end of the episode. Blight is okay. He just like got rescued by a helicopter and he's fine. Mr. Freeze is presumed dead. And then yeah, that's it. Pretty nice contained episode. Like I said, I thought it was early for a previous Batman villain to be introduced, but it did make sense. Like, you get Blight's powers more so established. He finally gets to meet with Batman face to face. So there's a lot of good stuff in there that was solely for Batman Beyond, is what I'm saying. Overall, really good episode. A lot of good action. Honestly, maybe my favorite Mr. Freeze episode, because on this channel, people know I have been dog shitting on Mr. Freeze for a while. I don't know. I just didn't really like how he was written in this series, but in this one, I really liked it. I really liked how he was trying to get like a second chance and do right, and just oh man, everything just kind of went to shit. But yeah, really good episode. Very few things I actually have a qualm about, like the really cool ice suit. The writers pulled that one out of their ass, in all honesty. And then there was something else that bugged me, but it's not important. Either way, still strong. I'll give this a good 6 out of 7 episode. Yeah, good stuff. Bye bye.